Hello and welcome to Sue Finley Designs. As we're only a couple of weeks away now till Christmas, I'm actually going with a Christmas theme this week, and I've created some little resin geode style tree decorations. So I made four. Bring them all up here. So I've made four little decorations for the Christmas tree, and you can see that the transparency light will shine through these. Now, how I made these, I've made a mould, or four moulds actually, using Pinkysil from Barnes, and I'll show you how I made those moulds. Then using multi-purpose filler, I've created the outside edge. Then we filled it with some decoration fillers, and then poured the resin with a little bit of aqua glitter, and that's basically it. There's not much to this one at all. It's just very plain and simple. Added a bit of ribbon, drilled into the resin, added a bit of ribbon, and we've got some unique looking Christmas tree decorations. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so to make the moulds, we first of all need some foam board. I'm using 5mm thick foam board, and I'm just very quickly drawing the shapes of the geode style on the foam board, and then just using a sharp craft knife or Stanley knife, just cut out the shapes. It doesn't have to be perfect, because when we add the modelling paste, the multi-purpose filler to the edges, it'll roughen that up anyway. So I'm creating 4 different shapes that we can reuse time and time again. That's why I'm using the Pinkysil mould making material, so that we can use this shape time and time again. Pinkysil is a 2-part silicone mould making material, and as it's liquid, it takes on the texture of the item that you're moulding. So you do mix it in a 50-50 ratio, and just mix it really well, like I'm doing there. Now what I'll do, after I've mixed that, I then pour it into a fresh cup, so that we have then got no residue at the side of unmixed material. So for the initial mould making, I'm actually pouring a very small layer on the bottom of these plastic plates. Now this is where I'm going to sit the foam board on. So we'll just let that cure. It takes about 20 minutes, and I'll just come back and test it every now and then with my finger on the stick to just see that it's cured enough. And I'm now pouring an extra layer, which I'm now going to sit the foam board into. Now I did initially put holes in the top for hanging, but I realised that I needn't have bothered doing that, because I'm actually going to cut that off and refill it. And fill it, and then drill the holes instead. So it takes about 20 minutes or so for the stuff to cure. So I left it for about an hour before removing the foam board. And here you can just see I'm just trimming off the excess around the edge using a pair of scissors. And as you can see, I'm also trimming away the hole that I'd created, because I'm not going to need that now. So once that's all done, I will then move on to the multi-purpose filler. Now I'm just using Viking multi-purpose filler, but any filler will do. Wall filler, wood filler, anything like that will do as a substitute. And so I'm just putting the filler around the edges of the mould. This is just to give it a more stone-like feeling around the edge of your geode style thing. So once that was done, I left that to cure overnight, and now what I'm doing is I'm using the decoration fillers to fill in the centre of the mould. Now you don't have to use stones, you can just pour resin in there, or you can use crushed glass, you can use whatever you like, you can create your own patterns as you would normally, but for this one I'm using the decoration fillers. And what I'm doing now is I'm just putting a cut straw where I want the ribbon to go. Now this is so that it pushes the stones out of the way, so that when I put the drill through, I'm not having to drill through the stones as well. Now the next stage is adding the resin. So for this one, all it is just aqua glitter mixed in the resin and then just poured into the centre and just moved around a little bit just to make sure that it goes right up to the edges. Now I don't know whether you can hear in the background, my computer fan has just switched itself on, so apologies if that is coming out in the sound. I'll see if I can reduce it, but it may well still be there, so apologies for that. So once that's cured, which has been left overnight, we can then move to the next stage and demould them. So what I'll try to do here is I'm trying to pull the straws out as they are, because it's plastic that won't stick to the resin, but obviously they're stuck quite fast in there, so I'll use a heat gun to try and loosen them off from the back so that I can pull them out, and some of them do actually come out, some of them don't, so apologies that it goes off screen a little bit there as well. So as you see, that first one came out and that came out clean. It created a nice hole in there, but some of the others don't come out at all. So what I'll do later is I'll actually use my Dremel to drill through there, and then once you've drilled through the hole, they just pop out then. So once I've tried to remove the straws, I then move on to the next bit, which is trimming the excess resin off, and all I do for that is just heat the extra resin and just trim it with a pair of scissors. And this will trim off really easy because it's only been 12 hours or so since we poured the resin. When you apply heat, it softens it enough to just trim it off, and it comes off really easy. So I'll just go around and do that with all of them, and just basically just give it a quick tidy up. So the next step is I'm actually painting the sides using a spray paint, but obviously I don't want to spray the sides because the spray will go everywhere, so I've just put spray into a small plastic cup. I'm just reusing a cup that had been used previously with resin, because I believe that spray paint can react with some plastics, so because it's already got remnants of resin in the cup, it's fine. So, and I'll reuse that again for resin at a later date, so that the cups do get reused. So all I'm doing now is I'm literally just going around the sides and just adding an element of high gloss silver around the edges of the geodes. And then I'm going to do the same, at this stage I'm now drilling into the back of each of them. Now I can see, although you probably can't see it, I can actually see where the tube is. So I'm just drilling into the back here, and then once that's gone through, I can then pull the tube out. And that comes away quite easily then. Now be careful when you're doing this. I was using the table initially to get it started, but obviously I don't want to drill through my table, so I do pick it up and angle it. So just be careful that your fingers are out the way and that you don't drill into your fingers. Now off screen I didn't film this. See the back, how it's all, there's white where the multi-purpose filler is. I actually paint that silver as well. So although I didn't film that, has been painted silver, so that when your decorations hang on the tree, if it spins, you've still got colour on the back. So once your paint and everything is dry on the sides, it's now to add the finishing touches with just a ribbon. Now I've got some ribbon in stock, so I'm using a ribbon that's similar in colour, but you could use silver ribbon or anything like that to add a festive feel to these. And I've just created a loop and just tied it at one end, and what I'm doing here is I've just folded the ends over just so that I can thread it through. So the knot's on the back, you can't see the knot, and basically that's it. There's nothing special to this at all. It's just a loop with a knot, and then just fold the ends over so you can thread it through, like so. And there you have it, one quick geode decoration. Well, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and it's given you some inspiration for your own geode style Christmas decorations. As always, the products that have been used in this video have been listed in the description. Also, you'll find some links to the Facebook art group and my website, etc, etc. So until next time, enjoy your crafting days, and I will see you very, very soon. Thank you. Goodbye.